Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our blog. My name is James Cuervo, Senior Trainer and Support here at Digital Drafting Systems. Today's topic is the selection of multiple panels for the purpose of changing the style type. We have noticed that this selection can be a bit tedious and time-consuming, considering that there are often panels that have the same type as needed. Further, there is also the need to unpin them before we are able to modify them. In the above-mentioned facts, we've decided to create and show a possible workflow to do just this task without resorting to a Dynamo script. With all of that said, let's get going. As stated in the opening remarks, we want to change some panels here from one type to another. In this case, what we want to do is select these panels here, okay, and switch them over to a non-transparent or transparent panel. So we have to then come in here, make sure that our select by face is on, okay, and tab until we select the face, select it, unpin it, and then we're able to change it. Now, the thing is that we might have several panels that we need to change, and in this case, we have quite a few here, okay, and if we actually rotate the model, there are also some on the other side, and it's going to be, let me just go ahead and rotate a little bit more, some right here, okay? So the question is, how can we actually select them all simultaneously? Let's go ahead and rotate our model back. So we have a better look, okay? And the way that we've done this is we have created a schedule. Okay, the schedule is called a panel schedule, which is this one right here. Okay, the way we created this particular panel schedule was we went to View, and in View we went to Schedules, Schedule Quantities. Sorry. Then we came over here to Curtain Panels, and we selected the height, family, and family type. Now, the reason why we selected the family type, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I did it here. I went ahead and said the height, okay, the family, okay, and the family type, just to make sure that I've got everything there, okay? Gave us the list. Let's go ahead and cancel here, okay, because we already have it created. Once we created our panel schedule, okay, as you can see, it's a little hard sometimes to actually locate these items, especially if you haven't sorted them out, which in fact, we actually went ahead and did that. If we come over here to the properties of the schedule and we go to sorting, you'll notice that we've sorted it out by height, okay? We can also add a header. And when we say okay, it makes it a little easier to identify where the actual number, the actual sizes change. Now the question is, where is this particular number coming from? Come over here to the 3D and we select the panel that we are looking for. And it's a little bit hard to get sometimes. Right there, you will notice that there is a height value that we can actually use, okay? But you'll notice also that this height value is non-modifiable. You can't modify this. You can only use it as a list, okay? And so we're actually relying on this number right here in order for us to go ahead and sort out our height parameter, okay? Once we do that, we go ahead and select the first one, Shift and select the last one. Make sure you don't select the header because then it won't let you select the actual grouping. Okay, and then we come over here to the highlight in model. Once we say highlight in model, we go ahead and say close this because this is the actual view that we want, which we had already opened. In this case is the 3D. Okay, and you'll notice that they're all highlighted. So the first thing is we go ahead and pin it or unpin it. Okay, like that. Once it's unpinned, we're able to then come over here and change it to whatever we want. In this case, as you can see, we've already turned them into a stucco panel rather than a glazed panel. Now, this is fine when we're talking about storefronts. It becomes a little trickier, okay, for the actual, and let me just show you here, okay. This is a curtain wall system. This is a little trickier, okay. Why? Because if I go ahead and select one of these panels here, you will notice that there is no height here. Okay, so how do we actually do this? Okay, well, there is an area, okay, and we notice that the area for these particular panels, and let's say we want to change these smaller panels, okay, is 4.43 square feet. Okay, now we can use that, and for that we created a secondary schedule here. Okay, that is actually for areas. How did we create this particular schedule? It's very simple. It's instead of selecting the square footage, we went ahead and selected once again the curtain wall panels or curtain panels. We said okay to that. Okay, and it's this value, this parameter that we actually transferred over and then said okay. All right, so this is the way we actually did that. I'm going to cancel here. Okay, now same kind of theory or same kind of vision we had for the other panels with the height we're going to use here. Okay, it is a little trickier because as you can see, the numbers here are basically rounded off. Okay, so in order to actually keep it consistent, we have to be very careful how we select. For example, if we go ahead and say we filter, okay, sorted, sorry, by area, I would like to go ahead and add the header. Okay, the simple reason for this is because then it allows me to see the different sizes and group them together. Okay, that being the case, I can then go ahead and say, for example, select the 4 square foot panels like this. Once again, go to the highlight in model, okay, and close this. You will notice though that sometimes it picks up some of the panels that I don't want. For example, these vertical ones. Let's say, for example, I just want to change these horizontal ones. For that, you can come over here and go to the modify, right? Getting closer. Make sure you have the select. Oops, we're going to have to go ahead and redo that. Okay, close. And then by selecting the shift option, you can then remove certain panels from your selection. Okay, now notice in this particular case, there is a variation in square footage for some of them. So it's actually kind of grouping them differently. Okay, but the nice thing is that let's go ahead and change this before we go ahead and move this. Let's go ahead and change it to from glazed. Okay, let's switch it to glazed red. Okay, we can then go ahead and say, rather than show it to me in black and white, I can go ahead and say, show me to texture, and it shows it like that. Okay, the other ones were selected by going ahead and making sure, for example, let's take a look at the 1 square foot, okay, and select and highlight in object in the actual model. Here they are. Luckily, if I look at them, that's just the ones that I need, and I don't have to then select or deselect. I don't advise selecting additional. I would advise you to use the schedule to allow you to have a much faster way of selecting rather than using the shift option to select, add, or remove from selection. Okay, and with that, we have come to the end of this blog. This has been Jim Cuervo at Digital Drafting Systems, saying I hope you enjoyed our blog. Till the next one, be safe. Thank you.